YouTube. Robert the Monster Among Mark's Drap here. I'm joined once again by my good friend and tag team partner, the heavy metal hippie, Sierra. How you doing today?
It's a cold day in DC.
It
Other than that,
absolutely,
I'm doing really
I was going to say, it
good.
absolutely frickin' is. It is just the worst. Uh,
How would you know? You're in toasty Texas.
Relatively compared to, I guess, the rest of the world, but I hated it because it was Black Friday and I work retail.
Oh, I'm so happy I don't work retail anymore.
I wish I didn't.
Wait, you, I know where you work.
You do.
How did you get slammed on Black Friday?
Because
I
people
worked at an
just,
arts and crafts store and got my shift canceled on Black Friday.
yeah, well, you also need to remember where I live. The Lone Star
Oh yeah, I
State.
lived in a very depressed area of Pennsylvania at that point in time in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, don't make me go
But
back there. We're drawing a veil and moving on to
I
wrestling.
was going to say, but speaking of the past, we're going to start with 205 Live. What we started out with was actually the a replay of the highlights between Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali from Survivor Series.
It
Uh,
was such a good match.
oh yeah, that like I keep saying, if you want to know what good tag team, what good cruiserweight wrestling is, there's your example.
If
Um,
you want to find out what good tag team wrestling is, tune in next week because the main event next week's amazing.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. Oh, and I love how they took the shot at that the tag team, the cruiserweight tag team title.
Oh, it's a running joke it's a running joke.
Yeah. So Buddy Murphy comes out and he cuts a promo from the top of the ramp, basically on the crowd and on Mustafa Ali. He is then joined on. Uh, he is then
My
joined by.
birthday buddy Tony Nese.
Yep. Who has a match to kick off the show against Noam Dar, who gets a weird video
Alicia
promo.
Fox. I really hope you didn't just hear that.
Yeah, I kind of talked over you, so you're lucky.
Okay, good.
But Nice, I'm sorry, Noam Dar brings up in his selfie promo that he's been busy between Cruiserweight and NXT UK, but now he wants a shot. So now his I guess proving match is against Tony Nese, the premier athlete.
Yeah,
Uh,
he asked Maverick for an opportunity, and he's ready to make some noise on 205 Live, and he's got 8 reasons to kick Nice's head off.
mm-hmm.
He said another word, but I don't understand the UK slang, so I'm not going to try to do it.
A dafty.
He is a dafty.
Yeah, I know what daft is, and I guess that's just calling somebody daft.
I know it's an insult. That's
Yeah,
about it.
daft means you're
But
crazy.
but this match, they put on a very impressive opening match.
That they absolutely did.
I have notes. I have notes. Play by plays coming back. I don't know how to do notes any other way.
That's wonderful. Actually, I love that. I mean, it gives me a chance to relive the wonderful moments that I just watched like 20 minutes ago.
Man, I
That,
feel like
that
I look. I really appreciate you taking the load on the main roster,
yeah. No, no.
but I
Your
need you
your
to take
show
the
your
lead.
your your show on Tuesday. I'm sorry, on Wednesday was actually wonderful. I really liked it. And what I need to do is just little housekeeping and show you how I do this back behind our heads here.
Look, I have a 10-foot by 10-foot room to work with at the moment. When I move to Ohio, I'll have an entire office with lighting and an actual backdrop with all of my signed Funko Pops
No,
and all of my
I meant
signed wrestling stuff and all of my wrestling pictures over here
the
that we got to see on
background.
Wednesday.
I meant the background, the scrolling things, because you've got OBS now, so we
I
can
don't
work with
think
you.
that.
Anyway, um, again, this was a really good match. I liked the flow between the two of these wrestlers. They have some very good chemistry. Any good spots that you want to really highlight?
Oh, I need to learn how to break these up because it's just one long paragraph.
Well,
Oh, um, just based on the fact there's capital letters over here. Um, at a point in the match, we see. Okay, fuck. I just want to talk about it all because it was all really good.
I know. I do. So like what I usually do is I pick one or two moments where the crowd really came alive, and or what really made you.
With trying to find a spot where the crowd comes alive during an opening match at 205 Live is the issue that a lot of times the crowd's not there yet.
Yeah, or they've been there from the
The 205 Live stuff is pre-recorded before SmackDown.
Oh yeah, because there was one person holding and I noticed this later on in the show. They were holding a "I came here for the woo" sign.
Yeah, so they instead of doing the whole show after SmackDown, they now only do the matches. They record the matches and then they add in the segments.
Okay.
So when you go to a 205 Live show, you're only seeing the matches. You're not seeing any of the backstage drama.
Ah.
So I'm sure this episode of 205 Live was really weird because they literally got the main event, which involved those lucha masks, and then they got Randy Orton versus Mysterio in the main event and got the lucha mask there as well.
Yeah, that's a little like somebody needs to stop this theme before it gets out of hand.
Look, I really want to see a new lucha order. We had the opportunity.
NLO.
It would have been. So they were talking about doing all of Lucha House Party, Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, and then adding in Andrade Cien Almas because he still comes in with the Lucha mask, although he doesn't wear the mask. He still has the heritage.
Yeah.
But with him being that heel persona and having Aleister Black's Boo as his manager, I don't need to see that anymore.
Yeah, I think we're good. But like I said, the other thing I usually do to pick a good spot is I pick something I think was physically impressive.
Okay, so this happens. So, shit, I'm trying to think of a spot to miss or spot to start.
See that fourth sentence you have there? Go with that one.
No, there's lots of commas and a lot of semicolons and not a lot of periods.
I mean, I'm gonna get to the end of the match.
Okay, here we go. Close to about 2/3 of the way through the match, we see Noam Dar knock Tony Nese off of the turnbuckle, and then lets off a combination of strikes, to which after that Dar hits the Northern Light super suplex, but Nese kicks out. We see the two of them. We see Nese retaliate to the pin attempt with boots and a knee to the midsection. And at this point, oh my gosh, this sequence after this, when we see Noam Dar attempt to hit the guillotine submission, only for Nese to quickly power out of that and then gain their momentum by snapping Dar across the ropes.
Oh yeah, that was
immediately transitioning into he immediately transitions into the missed springboard moonsault, and Dar is able to get the guillotine on again. But Nese hits this beautiful Northern Light suplex with the bridge on it. And then only for Dar to pop back up and let up a flurry of kicks to roll into a pinfall attempt.
He only gets
this was just a loud match. This was a loud match because immediately after this, Nese rocks Dar with that really loud forearm.
Yeah, that was a big pop. I don't know if we're calling it, because we can't call it a buckle bomb, but I'm going to call it a buckleplex. He kept setting up for that.
Who?
Murphy did. Nice did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I wrote that down because he never actually got it off. But
he actually did. Because
what, the German suplex? Oh, the German suplex into the corner.
Yeah, because his head hit the bottom turnbuckle. I called it a buckleplex because it's a German buckleplex.
Yeah, it's a German. It's kind of like the buckle bomb, but instead of throwing him into the
second turnbuckle
like a power bomb, he German suplexes him into the bottom turnbuckle.
Yep.
But speaking of which, he does get that off in the final seconds of the match, and then follows it up with that running Nice, pinning Noam Dar. Thank you for moving into our ending.
Hey, no problem. We're already at 11 minutes, so.
I do want to point out real quick before that sequence, we do see Murphy interfere in the match.
Mm-hmm.
He grabs Noam Dar's leg and ankle, and Dar turns around and kicks him, only for Nice to then take advantage with that German power slam into the corner, whatever, buckleplex. Buckle slam. After the match, we see Murphy get a quick cheap shot onto Noam Dar. It was just Noam's doing double duty on NXT and UK, or 205 Live and UK. So just for him to see him perform in 205 Live is good, because we still get to see all this extra exposure with Dar, because he's going to be a top player at NXT as well.
Oh yeah. He's his natural talent and abilities make him a wonder to watch. I really enjoy seeing him on the screen.
I have a lot of catching up to do for NXT.
Yeah, that's okay. Next up, we get a Mustafa Ali promo, basically thanking thanking Murphy for the pain, that he's going to use this to turn it into power, and he is going to become cruiserweight champion. I almost feel like they're setting him up to never get it.
Don't say that.
I love him, but I think they're gonna Gargano him. It's gonna happen.
Oh, but like Gargano, Ali cannot put on a bad match.
Oh yeah, no.
He does promise to be champ at the end of this. And as much as I wanted to see him be champ at Survivor Series, and I put my chips in his corner, knowing he was not going to win, if Ali's going to get this title, it's going to be at WrestleMania.
I think that would be the big moment. Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. Are they going to do another Cruiserweight Classic like they did when the title was vacant, or are they going to storyline this? Because Nice and Ali, and Alexander still has his contractual rematch. Yeah. I think we're going to see shenanigans at this main event next week, because I don't know if they've been teasing us with a potential. They've been teasing us with the potential Ali Cedric breakup. Yeah. And I don't know which one's turning heel at this point anymore.
Well, in this case, I'm gonna say I don't see shenanigans, but I do. Let's move on to the next part, because that'll get me where we're going.
Speaking of shenanigans, though, we do see Drake Maverick warning the referee of the main event tonight that due to Maria Kanellis's comments in past weeks, he expects shenanigans to be had. Ref goes and prepares for the match, and we see Cedric Alexander enter the office. And it's at this point, Maverick congratulates Alexander on his win over Leo Rush, and then announces that next week, for the main event, we will be having a tag team match. I don't know if we officially announced it or said it already, but it's Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy and Tony Nese for the main event. And it's interesting to point out, Cedric did not ask about when his rematch was going to be.
Yeah. I think that's going to be our next big pay-per-view cruiserweight match. Is we got to see a win here for the faces, and with that, it'll be well. With that, it will bring in the okay. I've done all that you've asked me to. I've given you the dream match, and I've proven that I'm back on track and I'm back in the right mindset. I want my rematch. And Buddy Murphy will be like,
yeah, next week the faces need to win next week.
yeah. And Buddy Murphy will be like, hell no, I'm not giving you your rematch next week. I'm going to make you wait until whatever pay-per-view they decide, like if they decide to do it at TLC or if they decide to do it at...
If they do it at one of those, though, it's going to be a pre-show match. I'm going to be so angry.
Well, I mean, I've got more news. You know what? Skip it. I've got a news and rumors. Apparently, the Monster Among Marks has learned that the Monster Among Men has a legitimate injury to his elbow, and it is bone spurs that he is going to be having to deal with. Now, the timeline for his recovery hasn't been set, as they have not done the surgery at time of writing, but it has been confirmed that it will take him up to at least tables, ladders, and chairs before he might recover in any sort of capacity. And even if he does, there's no guarantee that he will recover in such a fashion that might allow him to compete viably in any kind of match. This leads Raw to possibly pad out a match between the two. Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer has noted that they may do a squash match where it's a complete one-sided flop in favor of the Monster Among Men. So that way, he still retains the storyline. He still gets his match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania and can defend and can have his chance to get the full-on surgery he needs without aggravating the injury too much.
Okay, that was a nice little news segment.
Yeah.
But you said it was... I thought this was going to be retaining to the cruiserweights because I just said that they're going to be on the pre-show for some sort of...
Yeah, the
pay-per-view thing.
TLC is going to be kind of a mess.
Well, TLC is always kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
I'd personally rather that they just didn't. Just don't need to do it.
Look, if there's, they will probably hold on to the Brock Lesnar Strowman storyline until they're absolutely 100% sure that Strowman cannot participate by TLC. And at that point, they'll do some sort of, I don't know, surprise entrant or something. But I wouldn't be surprised if Brock still retains at TLC.
Well, Brock's not going to be there. He's not going to be in any kind of capacity until Royal Rumble.
Oh, wait, what was the TLC match? Oh, Baron Corbin.
Yeah, Corbin versus Strowman. So the rumor
right now?
Yeah, rumor has it that Alexa Bliss may steal his spot.
Oh, yeah, with her still not being cleared with the concussions and all that, yes. Alexa Bliss, especially with what she was wearing as the captain of the Raw team, is a shoo-in to become the new Raw GM, which still means that Baron Corbin would have a little bit of power, because when you've seen Baron Corbin a lot of times, Alexa Bliss has been around him.
Yeah, well, I think they're just kind of seeding that idea in the minds. But moving on. Speaking of seeding some ideas in the mind, I can't wait for the next part. You got Baron Corbin on the mind. I want to hear this thought, because he's your favorite wrestler.
I said either way, I'm still going to see Baron Corbin, whether he's wrestling or as the Raw GM.
Man, that's awesome. I'm kind of screwed. Because I don't
My wrestlers are going to stay safe for the most part.
Bite me. Moving on. We get Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick versus a pair of jobbers. Before the bell rings.
Who we see one of on NXT.
Oh, was that Bravo? Was that Bravo?
Oh, yeah. Bravo.
Oh, holy shit. I didn't realize it.
The one in the purple trunks almost looked like a really skinny version of Justin Gabriel
Huh.
from Nexus.
Yeah. Holy crap.
He's going over to New York. Look, the highest part of this was the pre-match interview that Gulak and Gallagher gave,
Oh yeah.
because the submission commission is my favorite thing I've heard thus far.
Oh yeah. Like I said, they're planting the seeds. There's going to be a rematch between Gulak and Gallagher and Tozawa
Oh, you already
and
knew
Bryan.
that.
Yeah, that's coming pretty quick. If you don't know,
But
if you don't know who won this match, I will get you a new pair of glasses.
no, my prescription's relatively new. I'm good.
Not you. I'm talking about them.
It doesn't help that we both wear glasses.
Yeah, that's true.
But speaking of the match, this was a squash match, but it was a long squash match. The jobbers, as of late, have been getting offense in. If again, this is another parallel. On 205 Live, we saw the Lucha. Again, I'm going back to that Lucha mask thing because we saw it on 205 Live, and then we saw it later on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, we get jobbers that actually put up a little bit of competition for Tozawa and Kendrick, and then we get the jobbers that pinned Miz.
Yeah.
Coincidences everywhere, parallels everywhere.
Well, again, the high point of this match was the Gallagher Gulak interview. There was some really good teamwork moves between Kendrick and Tozawa as they pick up the win.
Yeah, I liked that little bit of tag team offense at the end where Kendrick hits the sliced bread number 2, and then Tozawa hits the seated senton, picking up the win.
Yeah. Backstage, we get a Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese interview where, again, Murphy makes a tag team title jab, before saying it's a joke that they're having to face Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander, as he's beaten them both before, and will beat them again.
He's yeah. But it's gonna be a good match next week. These are 4 of the top push guys in the division right now, and 3 of the 4 have been in the division since the original Cruiserweight Classic. It's so nice to see how far these 3 have come, especially with only one of them ever holding the championship. Well, I guess two of the 4 now holding the championship.
It'll be interesting.
Next week, though, we get Hideo Itami. He's coming back. I get to brush up on the Japanese skills again.
Yeah. And I'll get to listen to him do his thing.
So, you know how you say we fight over who the Corey Graves of our team is, but you did mention, I know I've mentioned Nigel McGuinness once or twice.
Yes, you have.
And good God, Nigel McGuinness might be my spirit animal, because as they announced this main event, and first McGuinness says that they're breeding Penelope, the pinata, because that crossed my mind. And then they start talking about the action figures and how the Lucha House Party will have the pinatas in their action figures, and we get the beautiful Maria Kanellis come out, and I kid you not, in tandem, McGuinness and I said, that's the only action figure I want.
That's great. So we've got Grand Metalik with the rest of the Lucha House Party, and Mike and Maria Kanellis come out with TJP. Mike and TJP are both wearing a few of the masks that they've stolen from the Lucha House Party. This incites the riot between the two trios. Where
a duo in a tree, because Maria can't really do anything.
Yeah, well, Drake Maverick comes out with a bunch of refs to break it up, ejecting everybody but the competitors.
That was smart on the ref's part. That was extremely intelligent.
Yeah,
Um,
it was great.
just having none of the outside interference. It really just look. We've seen TJP take on every member of the Lucha House Party, but to just I don't know, just seeing these guys one on one, to know that there will be absolutely no outside interference, really takes this match to another level.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Nigel McGuinness has a freaking quip early on in the match that I just had to relate to and write it down. We'll get there though. No, we'll get there for it.
I mean, we are.
So in the beginning, we see Metalik hit some quick offense. Let me actually just catch up a little faster. Metalik quickly gets some aerial offense over TJP. Only for TJP, again, early on in the match, to catch Metalik off the ropes and then throw Metalik into a quick submission, quickly transferring into aerial offense of his own. And freaking Nigel McGuinness starts singing, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Commentary is amazing on 205 Live and NXT. I have more fun listening to the commentary. I have as much fun listening to the commentary on NXT and 205 Live as I do listening to the commentary on SmackDown. I mean, because the SmackDown boys have such good chemistry.
Oh yeah, I mean, I very much look at it as this. I have as much fun listening to them talk as I do watching the competitors really get at it, and that's what makes it even better. I mean, Metalik.
Look, this was a good match. This was a lot of really nice spots in this match. Such as when Metalik attempts that moonsault, the springboard moonsault, only for TJP to fully extend his legs, blocking the attack, catching him under the jaw.
Oh yeah, that was a really good shot.
And then moves into a power bomb, only for Metalik to kick out after that. Yeah. Of course, we see TJP grab the mask, but he doesn't really go for the mask.
Yeah, he's not pulling very hard.
And it's at this point, so we see TJP, and it's at this point where the match turns. We see TJP grab the mask and then hits the drop kick, flooring Metalik, only for Metalik to respond with a Hurricane Rana over the top rope, sending and then hits the Metalik driver, has the chance to pin TJP here, instead tries to go to the top rope for the elbow drop, only for TJP to catch and put him into that armbar. We see Metalik try to roll to reverse the pressure and get a pin attempt, only for TJP to smoothly transition into the knee bar.
Yeah.
That was just a beautiful segment.
I loved that segment. That's actually what I was about to mention, was that whole segment right there. It was just great submission work.
Eventually, Metalik makes it to the bottom ropes, only for TJP to grab the oddball Penelope. I think she's the original Penelope. Metalik slaps TJP and then returns her to her kin. TJP hits the Hurricane Rana, but Metalik rolls him through, getting the pinfall onto TJP. We see the Lucha House Party come out and celebrate, and out of nowhere we hear this screaming. Maria Kanellis is screaming into a microphone to Jake Mavic that she has a family, and how could you do this to me? Distracting the Lucha House Party, allowing Mike Kanellis to enter the ring with a chair and proceed to clean house. We see Maria Kanellis drop the act, baffling Drake Maverick, and then joins TJP and Kanellis in the ring where they have decimated the Lucha House Party. I love Maria.
Yeah, this was a really, really good segment. Let's see.
Why is there a pink pen on this?
I don't know. I don't know if I can do this part, but I think I did this part right. I did this part right. Yay! We got there. We got there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move
Before
on.
we get into
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's move on to, because we have to remember that every NXT recap after a takeover is a promo heavy show.
Yeah, this was no
they
exception.
did not disappoint in the replays. I mean, we started off with a 3-minute package of War Games in total.
Yeah, really good.
And
highlights.
then we knew we were going to see recaps every show or every match after that.
Yeah. Let's get into the relevant stuff. We get an announcement that Lars Sullivan is going to be having a match tonight, as well as Nikki Cross versus Candice LeRae for our main event. We do get Keith Lee versus Fidel Bravo, the jobber from 205 Live. And
yeah, this was a squash match.
Yeah, this was an absolute literal squash match with that crossbody by fucking Keith Lee.
I mean, just getting more hype for himself for when he enters his first real feud, which we find out who that's gonna be. Does that mean we're gonna see?
Yeah.
Does that mean we're gonna see these promos for this gentleman coming soon for like a month?
Maybe. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time they'd done it.
Okay, but Andrade Cien Almas was only like 2 weeks.
I was gonna say Emma.
Oh my God, we spent 8 months with the Emelina packages, only for her to come and say Emelina's dead, drop back to Emma, and then be gone for another 6 weeks. Gets her opportunity at the belt, and then gets her hail and farewell.
Yeah. Future endeavored. Moving on, we get a replay package of Shane and Baszler versus Shane and Baszler from War Games. We get the backstage interview with Shayna Baszler, Maria Shafir, and Jessamine Duke. Basically, it's...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, she's basically just being herself at this point.
Yeah, she says, she's the most dominant woman on the NXT division, and that we, referring to 3 of the 4 horsewomen, can do anything. We are promised that we're going to see exclusive footage of the Black Gargano feud later in the night. But we get... After commercial, we get a recap of the NXT pre-show where Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno had words.
Hang on.
And they then...
I was going to say, that wasn't a recap for the start of...
pre-show.
Yeah. The pre-show, I didn't actually get to see that. I tried to watch it, but I didn't ever get to see it. So.
I watched what was in Pervanive, so the interviews.
Yeah.
But that moves on to... Go ahead. Sorry.
That moves on into Matt Riddle in the ring at TakeOver. I mean, they actually just played the entire beginning of NXT TakeOver War Games.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't show all of Matt Riddle's entrance, but... Aside from that, they showed it all. I mean, I saw Matt Riddle's match while I was at work because it was on WWE's Instagram story, and it said full match. And I was just like, "Are you kidding me? There's no way." Yeah. I got home, and sure enough, it's the full match.
Yep. Speaking of match, we got Lars Sullivan in a squash match against God knows who, because poor guy.
Keita Murray.
Okay. He wins, obviously. There's a post-match promo. Yeah, post-match, Sullivan grabs a mic, says he's going to keep doing this. Will keep happening until he gets another NXT Championship match, and to make sure his message takes, as he goes back after Marie, Keith Lee just comes out and blasts Sullivan.
Keith Lee to the rescue,
and knocks him out of the ring. And I really liked it. It was really good.
But recap of the night, in my humble opinion, goes to the Aleister Black, Johnny Gargano full feud recap,
Yep.
Simply because they use the absolute perfect song to go with this. You cannot go wrong with Voices by Motionless in White.
Oh, hell no.
The storytelling that they did in the ring for this match, we only got to see a little bit of the amazingness that this was, but the storytelling in this match is amazing. The match intensity itself is amazing. You have to remember, every time Black steps into the ring, we get so much of the in-ring character. If we go back to the Velveteen Dream match, I believe that was at War Games as well.
Yep.
We got to see them do the reverse roles of their characters. Dream hitting the sitting position, Black sliding out of the ring provocatively. But the best line of this match is the "I absolve you of your sins," followed by that beautiful Black mass spinning heel kick.
Yep.
Post package, we see Candice LeRae and Aleister Black have a stare down backstage. I don't know how much more they can really do with this. I mean, Gargano didn't win the match.
Yeah, there's nothing left.
I mean, if anything, LeRae's just taken on her husband's persona, as we see in the main event later.
Yep.
But
we get highlights of...
I don't know.
You don't know if there's anywhere to go with it?
I would love to see another triple threat. I would love to see the triple threat match we were promised.
That'd be nice.
When's the next takeover? Are we going to get a takeover at Rumble?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Gosh, I keep forgetting we're getting into the big pay-per-view seasons. Yeah. So we're about to have a lot of takeovers too.
Yep. We're on the road to WrestleMania. Moving on. Talk about rough. The Ciampa versus Dream match highlights. This was just a beautiful package put together by them, full of all of the best moments. I mean, what else is there?
It's really sad when, in WWE's eye, the developmental brand is putting on better matches, better promos, better video packages than the main roster. This is not a developmental brand anymore. This is its own brand.
It absolutely is.
And I can't wait till we start getting NXT versus main roster.
Yeah, they'll crush them if they're not already. Backstage with backstage with Keith Lee and Lars Sullivan jaw-jacking at each other, and apparently they're going to face each other next week, which is going to be a wonderful match because, I mean, Keith Lee does good work, and Lars Sullivan ain't half bad. So, there we go.
So, how far is Wichita Falls from you? Would Keith Lee be a hometown boy?
In the sense that he's from the Lone Star State.
But is he closer to like Houston, Austin?
If I had to,
what big city is he closer to, or is Wichita Falls its own city?
It is a city, but it's not in the same sense that you think that it is. Let's see, God, how to describe Wichita Falls from Houston? Let's see. I don't know how far it is from here because I'm not very familiar. It's while it is a bit bigger, it's 300 miles from here.
Yeah, I'm looking up where the closest. If they were to go to a big city like they do, what would be his hometown pop?
It's closer to Oklahoma.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah, it's right
on.
So
it's firmly in. Okay, it's closer to Fort Worth or Dallas.
Yeah, that'd be about the closest that you could get.
It'd be closer to Dallas than Oklahoma City.
It's
about the same.
Yeah, I was gonna say you think that, but they'd end up in Oklahoma.
Well, Oklahoma City is in Oklahoma.
No, I'm saying for any kind of really big thing that would be close to him, I imagine.
Okay. Just because I know Sullivan has always been a personal favorite of yours,
Yeah.
and leaving from Texas, I didn't know how much
And
loyalty you had to that.
oh, I like Keith Lee if I don't even like if I'm even though I'm not a big fan of his gimmick because it's strange.
I
It's
didn't realize him and Maya Yim were a couple, but it's cute.
yeah, that is very cute. Speaking of things that aren't cute though, the match between Nikki Cross and Candice LeRae was an absolute just slobber
Um,
knocker.
you didn't want to talk about our war games?
I mean,
Because the way Regal says war games is amazing.
it is. It is just very much passionate, and I
But
love it.
the recap, yes, the match was long,
Oh
but the
yeah.
recap of this was a gem. And the war games, actual war games portion of the match, that had ECW written all over it.
Mm-hmm.
The dual cover, all of the high spots we saw Ricochet do, the dual cover with Ricochet and Dunn at the end, and then for Dunn to win this match and then go home to Britain and see his little bruiser baby because he just had his kid. Oh, that had to be like the best moment of his life. So you know we're probably seeing him a lot more on the NXT UK brand since he's a new daddy.
Yeah.
But
Let's
now we
see.
can talk about Nikki Cross and Candice LeRae.
This the back and forth between these two women was actually really good. Nikki Cross got a lot of early offense that was very nice, and them bringing up the fact that Nikki has been on a bit of the downslide recently, so kind of really needs the win. It's like, okay, listen, what are you people doing?
I don't
Are
think she's been on a downslide. She's just been dealing with a lot of the backlash of her seeing Gargano or Black's attacker, which ties her into Candice and Gargano. Because, yeah, she lost the match against Becky in Manchester, but I don't think that because she lost the match against Becky, she's on a downslide. Um, but let me go ahead and get into the match because this was a phenomenal match. We see early on Lorray being very aggressive, taking some of her husband's newfound energy and putting it on her into herself. Nikki gets the first real hit though by knocking Lorray off balance and then face first into the apron. Uh, to which she slips Lorray between the ring and the skirt of the apron and messes with her there. We see Lorray hit the springboard crossbody, almost overshooting uh, her opponent, but instead nails Nikki Cross with her knee. She gets the drop kick, and then Nikki gets a belly to back suplex.
mm-hmm.
We see Lorraine's block Nikki's attempt at a bulldog and then follows it up with a neck snap followed by a snapmare from the corner. We see her do the step up senton, only for Nikki to quickly kick out. Lorraine hits a very pretty unprettier, but misses with the Cabrana. Uh, Cross quickly hits the purge, to which Lorraine kicks out. And the commentary team mentioned that no one has ever kicked out of the purge.
That's not even
It's kind
true
of,
on
I guess,
NXT.
I was gonna say, I guess she never used it against Asuka or Ember or Shayna, but yeah, that's. I I bet you I could just go back like a year and see somebody kick out of the purge.
Oh yeah.
But it builds up Nikki. Nikki's got a very impressive fisherman. Uh, shit, can't even remember the name.
Fisherman
But she's got a
neckbreaker.
very pretty. Yes, she's got a very pretty finisher. We see the dual tussle on the ropes, but Lorray hits an avalanche German suplex, which Cross kicks out of. At this point, everybody's favorite version of Nikki Cross comes out. She breaks down into laughter, thinks the whole thing's funny. Again, she wants to play with people. She doesn't want to fight people. She wants to play with people. These aren't matches. This is playtime. But her laughter, since Candice she snaps pretty much almost because she attacks Nikki with multiple chops and strikes. She got admonished by the ref multiple times because of how aggressive she was being, not backing up when she needed to be. But we just see LeRae continue her assault onto Cross, channels her inner Gargano and throws Cross into the Gargano escape. And when Nikki finally makes it to the ropes, takes the entire count to break the submission. We see Cross send Candice into the ropes and then drapes LeRae across the top rope into the twisting neck breaker, pinning Candice LeRae. Amazing match. I didn't let you speak. Go ahead.
No. I absolutely loved how Nikki broke the Gargano escape by kicking the ropes. She didn't just put her foot on the ropes. She got both feet and she was hammering the ropes with them. That was really kind of a cool thing. Like, you don't see that, but she did it. And
so I guess my question is,
go ahead.
With Nikki Cross, we've seen her do her debut on the main roster, but she still obviously has recordings for NXT. Are we going to see her continue with Candice, or is she going to go back to Belair, because neither of them have won a match against each other?
I think that it would be interesting to see more of Nikki on the main roster rather than on NXT. I kind of rather feel like, since she got her debut against Becky Lynch, she needs to be in the women's division on SmackDown with the rest of Sanity. So,
and I mean, she's not really a face or a heel, so she can do whatever she wants. So that's perfect for booking.
Mm-hmm.
But Sanity's suffering. They really need a good match to get them back into the title scene, because we haven't seen truly anything amazing out of Sanity since they've come out. We saw Killian Dane go from his trunks to a singlet, and I'm still in uproar about that.
I mean, I didn't say you didn't deserve your umbrage, but what I would like to say is overall, this was just your standard, if with a really good main event NXT post takeover. So
don't get me wrong, NXT always has a great main event post takeover. The last one was Dunn defending his championship. Was that one against Ricochet?
I don't think so. It might have
been. Because
usually
if Dunn doesn't defend his title, or if he's not at the takeover, he defends the next night.
Yeah.
Whatever champion doesn't defend or hasn't participated typically defends that night, but everybody participated.
This is true. I want to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow the show on Twitter at InMoshPit. Follow yours truly at Rob's Random ROMs. Follow my good friend over there at Heavy Metal Hippie. And we will see you all on Tuesday night for the Monday Night Raw review. Later.
Bye.